Recently, I decided to play The Sims 3 and I thought I'd share a bit of my experience. A defining aspect of The Sims games is the lack of predetermined storylines, which can lead to either repetitive, monotonous gameplay or unexpected, refreshing outcomes. Going into this gameplay session, I was hoping for the latter. So I started by making a family in The Sims 3. Of course, that's a common starting point. I spent over like an hour creating the family members. I even color coded the parents' outfits. Then I got tired and I couldn't do that for the children. But eventually I had a whole collective of Sims ready to play the game. But when I clicked accept, the game crashed and I had to, of course, start over. So once I got back into the game, I quickly remade the family and moved them into the world, Sunset Valley. The family, mom, dad, a teen son, and a teen daughter, moved into a small, almost empty house with barely any money because the house itself, despite it being unfurnished, was still very expensive somehow. So I used cheats in the first place to give the parents degrees, communications for the mom and medicine for the dad, so they could get ahead in their careers. Everyone got their jobs quickly. The mom went into journalism and the dad went into medicine. The children also got part-time jobs. So in the course of me continuing the usual, wake up, sleep, eat, go to work, I discovered the dad was in the medicine career, and with the ambitions expansion package, the medicine career is expanded a bit. So there's a part where I followed the dad around while he was giving vaccines at the park. I also had him play chess a lot to boost his logic skills so that he could increase his chances at a promotion. And eventually he did get the promotion. I had to use the Enras Tuner to stop my Sims from gaining celebrity points free of charge for just streaming videos on their phones. When the mom had a bad hair day, because I installed a mod with hairdressing features for the game, she had to visit the stylist station and get her hair done. Simple things like this just make you end up spending hours upon hours playing The Sims 3. So I had customized this salon in the game to include hairdressing chairs. There's also some footage of her, writing articles for her job because she ended up in the journalism career. She even at some point had to use a voodoo doll on her boss to make sure that things didn't go south and all of that. So as the game continued, I discovered that the daughter had an enemy from school that she clearly did not like. Eventually, she finds herself at this restaurant where she runs into this girl, and of course she decides to settle the score in her own way. But unfortunately, the girl's father also gets caught in the crossfire. What matters is that she settled what she needed to settle after successfully escaping the police and riding off the adrenaline of her actions. She tries to break into the wolf house, but she gets caught. At this point, I was wondering how the game, which I originally planned to focus on the parents' retirement and all of that, had now shifted into a teenager's criminal spiral. That's just to show you the randomness and lack of predictability of the Sims that can be enjoyable. Of course, when she returns home, her father grounds her, but that doesn't stop her either. She makes a second attempt at breaking into the wolf household. This time she succeeds. Then, driven by a sense of duty to secure a better life for her family, and with help from her friend Dexter, she manages to secure a new home for them in that process. And although her family appreciates the living arrangement she has secured for them, of course they refuse to let her live with them. So she stays in their old house. Later, she meets Michael Bachelor at the fishing spot because she's just hopping around town at this point looking for someone that could accommodate her. He tells her that he's already in a relationship with someone that's named Holly. She finds Holly and eliminates the obstacle in the process, running away before the police can arrive in typical fashion. Later that day, with no sign of Holly, Michael agrees to her proposal to go steady. They both age up on the same day. They even get married and move in together. And that's the story of how she secures a new house, a new housemate, and possibly, because by the time I had closed the game, they had already become expecting, so new children also are on the way. I don't know if I'm curious enough to see what the children do. I just had to run this briefly to see how invested I could be after all this while not playing it, to just revisit it, see how interesting things are. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.